Today I'm going to be talking about a video that I made a year ago that is titled, "Will Sin Take You to Hell?" And I just want to expound more on that topic and explain that I'm not saying that we need to do works to get to heaven, but just saying, like James, if you have faith, you will automatically have works. So if you love the Lord, you're going to live by His commandments. 1, 2, 3. It's free. So I believe that there is grace and mercy that covers a multitude of sins. I know that there's things that we do every day that is not godly. Sometimes we might get angry. We might say something that deep inside of us we really didn't mean, but we just were angry and we said something. I don't think we automatically are on our way to hell when we make these mistakes. I believe that grace covers a multitude of sins, but I also believe that if we go out and live a sinful life and willingly do things that we know without a shadow of a doubt we know is wrong, I believe that we're going to be tried with those sins if we don't ask for forgiveness and turn away from those sins. And I'm going to read out of Hebrews 10:26. It says, "For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins." And I believe that this is talking about the grace of the Lord doesn't cover that sin. You are in your sinful ways and you're on your way to hell. But I believe that you can get saved again. I am a strong believer in people that have backslidden and given their life back to the Lord. And so you can get saved again. You just have to give your life to the Lord and turn away from sins and live for Him again. But this is not a work thing. See, when you love somebody, you're going to do it. You're going to live by His word because you love Him. You don't look at it as a list of rules. You look at it as something I'm so passionate about and I want to live. So I like to use the analogy about two children. You have one child that doesn't like their parent and decides to stick their boots inside the oven to catch on fire, and later it catches the whole house on fire and it burns down. And this kid, in his heart, he wanted to do something evil. I believe that kid will be held to that. But then you have another kid that thinks in their mind, I want to put the boots inside the oven to warm them up for my mom. Not thinking that something bad's going to happen from it, but just thinking, I'm going to do this for my mom because I want her to have warm feet. And then you put them in the oven and the house starts on fire. And now the kid did not mean for the house to get on fire. They didn't do this in a spirit of, I hate my mom and I'm going to catch the house on fire. See, that's what I see in this world. We have people that hate God and we have people that love God. But the people that love God doesn't mean that they don't make mistakes or do something that causes something bad to happen or something. But I believe that that child that loves God so much and is trying their best is not going to be held accountable to that sin that they made, not realizing. In James 4, it puts it like this, and we can take the scripture along with us, because I quote the scripture a lot when I see people that are starting out in their walk with the Lord and they may do something that I'm like, I wouldn't do that, but they're a baby Christian and they don't realize that that's dangerous. You're putting yourself in a dangerous position there. Or they may not have read certain scripture that says not to do something. Too much is given, much is required, and I'll put that scripture down below. But James 4:17 says, "Therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin." And, if we know to do good and we doeth it not, we're in sin. So if we know that what we're supposed to do as a Christian, but we don't do it, then it is sin. But if we're starting out on our walk with the Lord and we're still learning, we may fall in certain places. And even if we've been walking with the Lord all our life, I'm still learning things that I'm like, didn't even see that in scripture before. And I'm like, God, I'm sorry. But I really don't feel like I was held to that because I had no idea. If you're living a life for God as best as you know how, and you're getting into this word, and you're loving Him, and He is your passion, then when you make mistakes, or you say something, or you did something that was wrong, I don't think that you're held to that. I think that's when the grace comes in, that covers that multitude of sins, because you're trying your best. But if you're like that kid that's like, I'm going to put this, and I'm going to do this just to spite God, and I'm going to, because I don't like God, then you're held to that sin. Because you know that you're not supposed to do it. And you're doing it anyway. When you truly love the Lord, you're going to have a passion to serve Him. And I just wanted to make a video about this because I had a lot of people kind of questioning me about this whole topic. Not just on YouTube, but just outside of YouTube. Wondering, if it's a works that gets you to heaven. Is that what I'm teaching? Am I teaching little sins and big sins? No, that's not what I'm teaching at all. What I'm trying to say is, if you truly love God, you're going to try to live by His word and put Him first in your life. But if you do something that you find out later on was not what you were supposed to do as a Christian, I don't think you were held to that. And if you would have died right then, you wouldn't have gone to hell, because that's when grace comes in. If you truly love Him, you're going to walk after the light. You're not going to want the darkness. You're going to want to walk after the Spirit. And you're going to want to get closer to Him.
It's free.